Bobby Langford was dead, and Tyler Langford knew exactly why. One was a reclusive animal enthusiast, the other a bitter nephew with a grudge. When Bobby's lifeless body was found near a shattered fence and strange tracks in the dirt, locals whispered one thing: the kangaroo did it. But behind the bizarre headlines and viral theories lay a far darker truth, one no one saw coming. This is the true story of betrayal, blood, and a murder masked by fur. Title: Did a Kangaroo Kill a South Carolina Man? Bunch, true crime documentary. It was a calm summer morning in rural South Carolina when police received a call that would leave an entire community stunned and investigators grasping for answers. A body had been found on the outskirts of a private property just outside the sleepy town of Santee. The victim was 56-year-old Robert Bobby Langford, a quiet man known for keeping to himself and raising exotic animals on his land. When deputies arrived, the scene was bizarre. Bobby lay face down in the grass near a broken section of his livestock fence. His shirt was torn, his arms scratched and bruised. But what truly baffled first responders was the shape and pattern of the injuries. The coroner's report later described deep puncture wounds to the abdomen and chest, along with powerful blunt force trauma. The cause of death was listed as severe internal injuries due to multiple impacts. No weapons were found nearby. What made things stranger was that there were no tire marks, no signs of a struggle with another person, and no indication of robbery. Bobby's wallet was untouched. His phone sat nearby. Nothing appeared stolen or disturbed. But near the body, officers found large, unfamiliar tracks, elongated, clawed impressions that didn't belong to any local wildlife. Bobby Langford had been raising exotic animals for over a decade. Neighbors occasionally saw zebras, emus, and even a small herd of wallabies hopping in his pasture. Some whispered that he kept a kangaroo, an animal illegal to own in many parts of the U.S. without a permit. But no one had seen it in person, not until now. Deputies canvassed the property and found a broken section of the fence facing the woods. A few feet from the fence lay a tuft of coarse, reddish-brown fur. Just beyond the trees, fresh tracks led into the dense brush. Wildlife officials were called in. If Bobby had indeed been keeping a kangaroo, and if it had escaped, then the situation could become dangerous. 2 days later, the mystery deepened. A wildlife biologist identified the tracks as belonging to a large red kangaroo, one of the most powerful marsupials on Earth. Adult males can grow over 6 feet tall and weigh nearly 200 pounds. When provoked, they have been known to kick with enough force to crush bones. But attacks on humans were rare, and fatalities almost unheard of. Locals began speculating. Was it possible the kangaroo turned on its owner? Did Bobby die from an animal he loved and raised for years? Then came a break in the case. A drone team, searching the woods for the missing animal, captured footage of something moving rapidly between trees. When the video was enhanced, there it was, a massive red kangaroo bounding through the underbrush. But what disturbed investigators wasn't just the kangaroo, it was what was attached to its harness, a GoPro camera. When they finally tranquilized the animal and retrieved the camera, what they discovered changed the case completely. The footage was disturbing. It showed Bobby approaching the kangaroo with what appeared to be a large metal feeding scoop. He seemed agitated, possibly shouting. The kangaroo stood upright, ears pinned back, a sign of distress. As Bobby moved closer, the animal lunged, kicking and striking repeatedly. But the video didn't stop there. In the background of the footage, just before the attack, someone else appeared on screen, partially obscured by the edge of the frame. A man, holding a long stick or pole, stood just beyond the fence line, waving something in the air. He was intentionally provoking the animal from a distance. Investigators zoomed in. Though the image was blurry, they could make out enough detail to identify the figure: Bobby's estranged nephew, Tyler Langford. Tyler had a long history of disputes with his uncle over property rights and inheritance. Records showed Bobby recently changed his will, cutting Tyler out entirely. Cell tower data placed Tyler's phone near the property on the morning of the attack. Faced with the evidence, Tyler eventually confessed. He had tried to scare Bobby into giving up control of the land by agitating the kangaroo, hoping only to frighten him. He never expected the animal to turn violent, but instead of helping, Tyler fled the scene, leaving his uncle to die alone. In the end, the story of Bobby Langford wasn't just one of an exotic animal gone rogue. It was a chilling reminder of how jealousy and greed can twist into tragedy. The kangaroo, though dangerous, was only reacting to fear and confusion. The real crime was not in the kick, but in the silence that followed. Tyler was charged with reckless manslaughter and obstruction of justice. The kangaroo relocated to a licensed wildlife sanctuary in Georgia, where he remains under supervised care. To this day, the town of Santee remembers the strange case that made headlines around the world. And those who pass by the Langford property still ask the same question. Did a kangaroo kill a man in South Carolina? Or was it something far more human?